Hello everyone and welcome to our webinar, Getting Started with Wrike for Admins. This is a session for account admins who need to set up their Wrike workspace properly and get their teams onboarded. To begin with, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Priscilla and I'm a Customer Success Manager at Wrike. My main goal is to help you and your teams to use Wrike in the most efficient way. Our agenda today will cover the following topics. We will start with the essential framework of Wrike and the best practices on setting up your workspace. Followed by the core concept in Wrike, how to start a new project and making it efficient. Then we will learn how to provide access to data in Wrike, specifically how to share items with your colleagues and how to distribute the work among your team members. We will also review how to make sure that everyone gets updated on the relevant and important actions that happened in the account. Next, I'll share with you the two most important monitoring tools when you are starting to use Wrike. These tools will allow each team member to track what's going on and will provide you as admin visibility into the whole team's work. We will also cover advanced functionalities like ways of speeding up repetitive work, eliminating human error, streamlining the intake process, and visualizing processes in Wrike. This webinar is for admins of all subscription types, including professional and business. Some of the functionalities that we will review might be included only in the business subscription, but I'll make sure to inform you when this is the case. Finally, we will talk about resources that can utilize and help you become a real Wrike expert. So let's get started. We will now move to our Wrike workspace and start by discussing the fundamentals, the essential framework in Wrike. Everything in your Wrike's workspace is based upon 4 building blocks: spaces, folders, projects, and tasks. This is our Wrike homepage. You will be able to find several sections here, and you are able to personalize what you see and how things are organized for you. Also, you can find our first building block here, the spaces. They are located in the upper central part of your homepage and have customizable icons to easily recognize them. Spaces are the central hub for your team's work and the top-level organizer for your information. Some teams prefer to create a space for each department. Some teams prefer to create spaces by region, by client size, by team, or by other attributes. It is important that you analyze your type of business and the type of work that you perform to create spaces that really adapt to your business processes and initiatives. But regardless the criteria that you select to divide the data in the account, a space is always a top-level element and also is the only building block that cannot have descendant items of the same type. This means that a space cannot have subspaces. As you can see, I have different spaces here. I have my personal space, which comes by default in all Wrike accounts, and that works like a personal hub to keep the information that is relevant to you only. I also have a client space here to keep all data related to my clients organized. Another space for the different departments in the company, one for event planning, and even a knowledge base. When you select a specific space, you will be able to see the information that it contains. Let's take the department space as an example. I just selected this space and it will direct me to a new page. On the left-hand side, you will see the option to go back home on a daily basis. We also have a tools section here, and we have the projects and folders section. Folders are our second building block. They are buckets used to organize information inside spaces. They help to structure and categorize your data. Anything that requires additional categorization can and should be done with the help of folders. Something that is very important, folders do not represent actionable items. They are just providing organization and ease of navigation inside of the spaces so you can find your projects and information easily. You can recognize them because they have a small file icon on the left side. Here you can see I have folders indicating the different departments in my organization, like analytics and BI, engineering, IT, marketing. You can also see here an archive folder. So when you and your team members have completed a project, you're going to be able to archive it. As a best practice, you can categorize this archive folder by creating subfolders. One alternative is doing it chronologically, for example, by quarter, or in this case, I have it yearly and then quarterly. Or you can even mirror the structure in this space and create the same subfolders here. So you could create a folder for marketing, for IT, etc. This practice will make reporting on finalized work really easy to perform. It will provide clarity regarding which projects are done and which are in progress. And it gives your folder tree structure a clean look. Another important tip to remember when it comes to your folder tree structure is to add numbers or letters at the beginning of an item. This will help you organize them, as Wrike has an alphanumeric logic when sorting. As you can see here, I have given my analytics and BI a 1, engineering 2, etc. You can also use some color coding in your folders, so you can add that extra layer of organization to your information. Now let's talk about our third building block, projects. Projects will contain a major initiative broken down in actionable steps. You will be able to recognize them because they have a small clipboard icon on the left-hand side of their names. In this case, if I select my folder called marketing and I open it up, you will see I have also subfolders here. And if I select my subfolder creative, you will see all the projects that are contained in that creative subfolder. These are projects related to the creative team. Once you select a project, our fourth building block will appear in the central panel of your workspace. These are the tasks. So let's take blog on best workplace habits as an example. As soon as I selected it, the tasks appeared on this central panel. Tasks are the main actionable unit in Wrike, a place where work gets done. And they consist of a series of attributes like start date, due date, assignee, among others. Now that you better understand how to create a proper structure, organize and sort it, we can move to our next topic, how to get started on a new project. We have determined there are 6 traits that can make a project efficient in Wrike. I will create a new project and show you one by one each of these traits. To get started, I will choose my creative team folder again. I will hover over it, right-click on it, and select the option Add Project or Folder. I will be naming this new project Blog on Remote Work. I will create it. Now the project is here, but it is empty. So I'm going to start following the 6 traits to an efficient project in Wrike, and I'm going to comment on each one of them and explain why they are important while adding information to my project. Our trait number 1, all your projects need to be populated with tasks, and these tasks need to be not too general and not too specific. When the tasks are too general, it may cause confusion as we are missing clarity regarding what needs to be done. If tasks are too specific, we might end up redoubling efforts and losing track of what the main goal is. In this case, for blog on remote work project, I will be performing 4 tasks. The first one will be to determine the target audience. The second one is going to be decide the scope and title. The third one is going to be organize and write content. And my fourth task is going to be publishing. I have added all 4 tasks, and now I will move to our trait number 2. All your tasks need to be assigned. You need to make sure you have only one person accountable for each task, giving them all the responsibility for its completion. If there are no assignees to a task, or if you end up having many assignees in a task, you can lose track of who's in charge of what, and you will also lose clarity when monitoring and prioritizing work. So I'll make sure I add the assignees to each task. And for this, I will be using the Mass Edit button to make it faster. So I will select all of them and I will be assigning them to myself. Now I will move to trait number 3, which is schedule your tasks. I will go ahead and schedule my tasks with the Mass Action button again. I will be rescheduling them for next week. The importance of scheduling your tasks is to make sure that you can prioritize work on a daily basis. It is the foundation of successful time management. You can only plan your projects when everything is scheduled. So these are 2 pillars of project management, having all tasks assigned and all tasks scheduled. Let's find out what is our trait number 4. So to do this, I will move from this view that is called the list view to the view that is Gantt chart. Tasks need to be interconnected with dependencies so you can establish and maintain a flow in your work. When tasks are interconnected, Wrike understands that they work as a set of actions in a block. Also, when you create a dependency and one task is finished and another one starts, Wrike automatically notifies the assignee of the next task so they can start working on it. In the Gantt chart, tasks will be represented by bars that go from their start date to their due date. When you hover over a task, you will see 2 circles, one at the left indicating start and one to the right indicating finish. Adding dependencies is as simple as connecting the dots between tasks. So let's say that task number 2 needs to happen after number 1 is finished. So I will connect the dot indicating finish in number 1 with the dot indicating start with number 2, creating this finish to start dependency. And I will continue creating this logic for the rest of my project. Great. Now let's say that my team has been progressing faster than expected and I need to reschedule some tasks. I can just move my first task back in the graphic and the whole project will be moving accordingly. Wrike understands that these tasks are not independent, but they are dedicated to a single goal. Our next trait has to do with the duration of the tasks. Tasks need to have a specific duration as people need to have sufficient time to perform their work. Let's see it in the Gantt chart again. Even though I am advancing faster than expected, it can happen that one task needs more time to perform. And of course, organizing and writing content can be a long task. So I can just go ahead and make the bar longer, indicating that the duration of this task needs to be of more days. Now I have a new duration for it. Once all the tasks have that correct duration, we can apply trait number 6. Always make sure that the key steps of your projects are represented with milestones. A milestone is a task with only an end date that marks an important event. And as a key step, it cannot or should not be rescheduled. In my specific project, publishing my blog is the milestone. And to mark it as such, I just need to hover over that task, right-click on it, Select here the ellipses or three dots and convert it to a milestone. Milestones remain on the same scheduled date, and if I were to move again this project, you will see immediately a red line indicating that there is a problem with my milestone and I won't be making it on time, so I need to find solutions. Now that you know all the steps to create an efficient project in Wrike, we can move forward to another important topic, providing access to data. Staying on top of your work is vital, and more so when you are working remotely, for example. You need to give visibility to other team members as well. That is why it's so important that you understand three concepts when providing access to data: sharing, following, and assigning. Sharing means access and visibility. If you don't share an item, no one else can see it. It is invisible to the other team members. So if I go ahead and select the creative folder here, you will be able to locate a small icon in order to share this. Something that is very important to mention is that we have a top level logic in Wrike. So if you share a top level item, you will be sharing all its descendant items automatically with a user. So in this case, if I select a specific user, for example, Tom, and I share this folder with him, Tom is going to be able to see everything that is inside of my creative folder. You also have the option to follow. Following will provide you access, visibility, and updates about everything that happens with an item. It is used when you need to stay on top of things, but you are not in charge of them. You can follow folders, projects, and tasks. Again, let's take our blog on remote work as an example. So in order to start following this specific project, you just need to come here to this button that looks like a Wi-Fi signal and start following it. So in this case, I will select my name, and now I will be gaining access, visibility, and Wrike, it's going to keep me notified on what's happening in this project. Assigning is our third option to access data in Wrike. Assigning means that you are held accountable and are completely responsible for an item. So you need to take action, finish the assignment, and mark it as completed. If I select this task, for example, I will see that I'm the assignee, so I am the person held responsible for the completion of this task. Once again, sharing means providing access and visibility, following gives access and keeps you updated, and assigning makes you responsible for an item. Of course, projects and access to data might not be enough collaboration if we do not communicate. To be able to communicate, first, we need to invite all our Wrike users to the account. The easiest way to do this is by clicking the button located at the bottom right corner of your workspace. Here, you can start by adding the email of the users and then assigning the correct license type. There are three user types in Wrike: regular users who occupy a paid seat and have full rights within the workspace, with the exception of rights that are reserved for you, the admins. You also have external users. They occupy paid seats and they have similar rights to regular users, but can only see items once that they have been shared with them. External users can only see the contact information of people who share common tasks, folders, and projects with them, but cannot share tasks, projects, or folders, or invite new users. Collaborators are the third type of user, and they have limited rights within the workspace. These licenses are useful when you need to share project plans with partners, clients, or contractors, without enabling them to make a lot of changes in the workspace. Collaborators are able to perform three actions. First, change the status of a project or task that has been shared with them. Second, they can leave comments. And third, they can attach files. Once we have invited all our team members to Wrike, it is important that they communicate. Communication nowadays is more relevant than ever before. We are now facing a new remote work reality, and this means to work more autonomously than ever before. We need to be clear about the goals, and all members need to know what is expected of them and also be willing to take on new responsibilities as the situation demands it. Change will certainly be a constant, and communicating via email the initiatives, projects, or tasks can become a nightmare. We will end up losing ourselves in infinite threads in a variety of tools, and there is also a huge risk of losing information. That is why using Wrike as a single source of truth is the best way to guarantee that the communication is efficient and that things will not fall into the cracks. To properly communicate in Wrike, you should use the add mention in the comment section. If you add mention someone in Wrike, two actions will happen. You will be sharing this item with that person, giving them access and visibility. And second, the person that got the add mention will now receive a message to his or her inbox. The inbox is located in the upper part of your folder tree structure. And every time you have a new message, you will be able to see a mark here in red, indicating that you need to take action. In case that you need to communicate with your whole team, you can also add mention My Team User Group. This is a default user group which includes all regular users on this account. As regular users are added to the account, they are automatically added to My Team Group. Now that you are able to access data and communicate in Wrike, it is important to start monitoring on your work. Monitoring is fundamental to meet your objectives. You can identify the most efficient ways to manage your time, tasks, as well as your teams and ensure your project success. First, we have our inbox. All notifications that should matter to you will fall here. You will be able to track your assigned work, get notified when there are changes in an item that you follow, and you will be able to prioritize your work. We recommend you to start your day by opening your inbox and checking all urgent matters and making this a habit among your team. Also, we recommend you to use dashboards. We will move to the home section, and then here you will be able to find dashboards. Dashboards are a dynamic board that you can populate with lists of items called widgets. Each widget can monitor different categories of items, and you can tailor them according to your needs. This helps you to find the information you need quickly without having to navigate all the tool looking for actionable items. We recommend you to have a personal dashboard with 3 widgets to begin with. First, to do today this week. This widget shows all tasks assigned to a person and therefore what he or she needs to prioritize and focus on. It works like a personal to-do list. Then we have my overdue tasks widget. It contains all the tasks where a specific team member has missed a deadline. So it will work like a mini emergency panel. So the user, in this case yourself, can take action. You can also create this widget to show all projects that a person is responsible for. And here you also have the chance to visualize the project progress in case that you have a business license or hire. You can just click on the project and you will move to this rectangle. You're going to be able to select the type of measure that you want to apply. So if this is a project that contains 10 tasks and you want to measure it by completed tasks, having completed 5 tasks will indicate here a 50% progression. And this is something that Wrike will do automatically for you. You can also create a team dashboard to manage your team's workload. You can use one project's widget at the beginning and then create a widget per team member to understand the amount of tasks that are assigned to each of them. Now you can easily see who has too much on their plate and who is being underutilized, and you can easily drag and drop some of the tasks from the team member that has a lot of tasks to the one that is being underutilized. Now that we have reviewed fundamentals, the traits of an efficient project, how to provide access to data, communicate and monitor in Wrike, we can take a look to more advanced features. Firstly, let's start talking about managing repetitive work in Wrike. If you are an admin of a professional account, you can create a folder like the one I'm going to show you in my client space. So I will go back to my home page. I will select my client space. And now you will see here, I manage a templates folder. So I have already created templates for all my projects related to brand experience and product launch. So every time I need to start a new project for my clients, I just need to use one of these templates and duplicate it. It is very easy. You just need to hover over it, right-click on it, and select the option duplicate. You will be given this a new title, you will be selecting the new location, and you're going to be able to keep these attributes or remove them. Clicking on duplicate will immediately create a new project related to this brand experience. Users in business subscription will also have the option to create a blueprint instead of duplicating the projects. You will find your blueprints by clicking in this button, then here, blueprint section. And as you can see, I have already created a templates folder inside of my blueprints. Wrike considers blueprints as a sandbox environment, giving you the opportunity to make changes and test. So this is going to be a great place to add, remove, and make all sorts of changes that you want. And the best part is that you will not be sending any notification until it goes live, or meaning until it is launched from the blueprints. You just need to select the specific project and then select the option Create from Blueprint. You will see almost the same options that we had when duplicating it. Also, admins of business subscriptions have the possibility to automate even more their Wrike workspace and streamline the intake process with request forms. You're going to be able to find the request forms in this plus icon. There are many use cases and examples here to use request forms. For example, holidays request, a department or user requesting the creation of a creative asset to marketing, and one that is very popular, the IT help desk tickets. I will move now to my requests, and I will be showing you the IT help desk tickets. So in this case, I will just need to type in my name. I will say my department is marketing. My position is a customer success manager. Let's say I'm having internet connectivity issues today, and here you will be able to add more information. You click on submit, and immediately a new task that has a specific number is going to be created under a folder in my IT department that is called IT request inbox. You will see all the information I typed in mapped in the description of the task. It will be already assigned to a specific person that has to do with all the internet connectivity issues, and it will be solving a lot of headaches for your IT team, because this is a great way in which they're going to be able to keep track of all the requests they receive. They're going to be able to take action and show the issues that are happening in an organized manner, making sure that they are able to provide the employees with efficient solutions to their projects and problems. Lastly, I would like to show another very important aspect in Wrike, reports. It is available again for business subscriptions and app. We're going to move now to our homepage again, and then to the reports section. Wrike reports will allow you to get a very granular view of projects, tasks, and time logs. There are a lot of pre-built reports that you can use to make your life easier, as you can see here. But you can always have the option to create a custom report. This is our report builder. So you're going to be able to select the type of report that you want. For example, projects. You will be selecting the source of your data here in case that you want, for example, to create a report only based on client projects. You can add some filters and then select on the layout. Let's take the table layout as an example. You click on Save and View, and immediately all the information will be displayed here. You're going to be able to organize the columns that you want to see. For example, I will be removing some of this, and then you can also group the data. So I can group it by owner, for example, and by status. Once that you have the report that you want, you can subscribe to it. So you can tell Wrike every Monday at 10 a.m. to deliver this specific project to your inbox. Every Monday at 10 a.m., you will be receiving the updated version of this report. To finalize, these are some resources that are going to be very useful to you. We have the Getting Started page. We have Wrike Discover, where you can find interactive courses where your users can learn by doing. You have also Wrike videos, and we have a set of best practices that can be shared with you. Thank you for your time today, and I hope that soon you're going to be having all your team onboarded in Wrike.